What's the XR representation and presence like in India as of today?
Yeah. So XR in India has had a very riveting story, and it's a tale for another time, with a lot of the very things that we try to tackle through the movement, manifesting within the movement itself. Right now, I would say the XR India movement comprises largely of a loose group of people that are working across cities, so at a national level, to try and set up the movement and make it able to like manifest on the ground. And within this team, in terms of representation, it is I think it has people from Delhi, Mumbai, Bangalore, Guwahati, Goa, and what else? I think a couple of Vizag, Hyderabad. So it's mostly made up of, not mostly, I think entirely made up of people from so the big cities or maybe a couple of smaller cities. But yeah, it's pretty small group right now. Does that answer representation question?
Yes, for now. I mean, I'm sure it can go into a bigger thing, but as we are short on time and we have two more questions to go.
Awesome.
So, okay, so the next one is, why are there not any prominent political parties driven by the youth? Are we systematically kept out of the system of power?
That's a fantastic question. And I mean, I there's no answer that anyone can give definitely to that. But I would say from my experience being part of XR India and also trying to make some things happen in Mumbai, that yes, I think systematically youth have been kept out of power, especially in India, because when you compare it to some of the other, again, maybe developed countries or even some of the lesser developed countries, like even our neighbors, Bangladesh, I have some climate activist friends from there, and they are regularly invited by the government, even if their actual opinions are not given any importance. But in India, there is not almost, but a complete lack of engagement on behalf of the government with regards to issues about the future. And something that I learned from a Nepali youth climate activist recently is that the phrasing of climate change as a youth rights issue hasn't really been considered. Like you see it appear almost nowhere in the Indian subcontinent. And so I think, yes, the youth has been systematically, whether deliberate or just that's how the system is designed, kept out of power, especially in India. But I think that is exactly where the gap lies. And that is actually what XR India, through that youth vision building project, is trying to start going into. Yeah. And maybe, I don't know if Blan, you have a response from your perspective, or yeah.
Yeah, I totally agree with what you said. I can share now the example of in Fridays for Future Romania. The youth are now building their own political parties, which is very beautiful. And also to point out that it is one of the parts of the society that is more oppressed when we do actions. So you normally have much more violence from the police to young people, to youth, than to elders or babies or something like that. So definitely, yeah, they have a difficult role within the society to speak out.